Hey, it's Lori, story time. Um, well, yeah, 7624. Magic. I see the universe as my personal caretaker. When God says, ask and it is given, I took that seriously. I have called it magic. I like allowing myself to see the wonder in all things, and God got us in everything. I have always had the gift of prayer, seldom using it for myself, but God says the magic is for me too. I can heal with my energy, and so can you. A voice in the dark, Lori Elliot. We do not consent to the current affairs and agendas going on now around the world. I God wanted me to tell you about the miracle. You guys call them miracles. I call it magic, and I, just how it works. I know that law of attraction and all that's so common. I mean, I turned one of my daughters onto it. She was like, "Oh yeah," and she ran with it. Um, and the thing is that yes, it works, but I've just never had to. I've always just told the universe what I wanted, and I got it. Um, and I always, if I'm short on funds, I always say, "Can I get it something I can afford?" Because they always are aware of what I can afford. And so, um, and I think the bigger magic is that not so much wanting things, is being so happy with what you have and the unique things that you like and stuff. And then the universe just seems to find more of that for you. And it's always reasonable. What you can afford, you don't even have to worry about that part anymore. That's what the magic is all about. It's about loving exactly where you are right now with what you have because it's what you wanted at some point in your life. And I look at my stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, and I've gone through it a couple times to make sure that everything I kept was something that made me smile. And and my tools, I still have a few tools to go through in the basement, but I'll go through that stuff this winter. But um, the thing is that um, I love the fact that God lets me see it as magic, and that um, I love Jesus. Don't get me wrong, but I've always talked directly to God because that's what Jesus said. And he said, when I talk to God, it's prayer, and or when I pray, I'm talking to God. And then when I sit in quiet meditation is when I listen to God. And so I wanted to be just like Jesus. That was my thing. And so I had to learn how to talk to God. And I had to learn eventually how to meditate and listen to God. And then I got to really listen to God and found out that, man, answers you all the time, quickly. Sometimes it might take a few days or whatever, but if the universe has really been working with you and you've been working with it, then it gets quicker and it gets kind of really, it's a game almost. So I call it magic. And that magic is available to everyone. It's not just available to me. And I just wanted you to know that sometimes you can just talk to God and just tell him the truth. Just talk normal. Be your authentic, real self. Don't put any bullshit around it or anything. And and God will answer you. I don't. My dad used to bring home books, and he wouldn't know why he bought them, but if they fell off the shelf at the bookstore, he knew it wasn't for him. But he also knew that God wanted him to buy them because they're for somebody, and he'll know later. And so that's how I got some of my answers. And other times I might see a billboard or hear somebody talking or meet a stranger or hear a friend say something. I'll say, darn, that's exactly what I was just asking about the other day. Thank you. And then I double verify it with God. You know, was this, and you get this feeling. It's not a physical feeling, it's a feeling. And it's not an emotion, it's a feeling. There's just such a big difference. And you'll get used to it once you practice with it. So practice using your intuition and asking it, what do I really want to do right now? And then follow through with it. The first time I ever did it, they wanted me to get down on my hands and knees and scrub my hardwood floors. And I went, you're friggin' nuts. No way. So I didn't. And I know better. But Um, I was supposed to be playing this game with the universe so I could get used to my intuition. And I waited 3 days because every day I would ask, what do I really want to do right now? And it always bring me back to that damn wood floor. And I thought, okay, fine. Finally, on the third day, I got down on my hands and knees and I cleaned that whole floor, blah, 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 and it was the whole upstairs. Anyway, I didn't do the bedrooms. I just did the living room and the kitchen and the hallway. But anyway, I felt so good about it. I mean, when I was done, that it was like, wow. So you'll always know when you're following your intuition because it'll feel like a wow. It'll feel really, you'll feel completed somehow, or you really feel joy from inside, and it'll have the wow factor, just like when my dad would bring me 3 books, and I'd look at them and I go, wow, because here God answered all 3 of my questions in 3 books, and so anyway, I just wanted you to know that the magic is available to all of us. And if you ever need any help or you got a special request or anything, you can send me an email. It's always in the description. And uh, healing. You can heal too with just your energy. And I can heal over the internet. I can heal over the phone. I can just heal just with thought. And the reason I can do that is because of my faith. My faith is a knowing. It's not a belief. It's a knowing. Because I did what they tell you not to do. They said, you cannot test God. I tested him. And I told him, I said, I'm sorry. I'm told I'm not supposed to do this. But I need to know that you really hear me. So would you please move that flower thing over there? And I waited. I was sitting in the yard. It was a flower basket and a tree. Then about 10 minutes go by, and all of a sudden, here comes my dad, and he doesn't say a word. And he just walks up, and he kind of looks around a little bit, and he grabs that flower thing, and he moves it to another tree. Now, my dad always moves shit all the time. And I thought, well, and I said, oh, hi. And he goes, oh, hi. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm just hanging out talking to God. And he goes, okay. And so he goes in the house. He goes, I'm watching the football game. And I said, oh, okay. And I think I was 12 or 13. And I was really having issues because I'd met so many people with pain and anguish, and how we're all dating and we have hormones, and I was like, all these girls were so weepy and cryy over a boy breaking up with them. I said, why? There's another one around the corner, because that's how I saw it, and and I just couldn't understand all this, and I thought, God, how do you expect me to make this big decision between good and evil when there are so many situations that you got to experience before you understand it all? And sometimes you may never understand it, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, because I'm seeing it. And my mom used to ground me because everybody used me as Dear Abby. And she goes, you're not Dear Abby. I said, I can't help it. They do it. And she goes, I know, but you're healing them. And then you get overwhelmed with their energy. You got to learn how to get rid of it. So you're grounded. I'm like, okay. So anyway, you have it too. So just dare to question God, not in a bad way or a feisty way. Sometimes I'm feisty with God, but I've got a long rapport with God. So, sometimes I get a little feisty and he goes, well. But love yourself enough to reach out and find and prove to yourself. Get that knowing, without a doubt, of something bigger than you that is there to help you. And you're an integral part of it. And it's there for you. And get to know that our universe is made to give us what we feel. And there's another aspect to our universe here on Earth that specifically works against all that, tries to put us in negativity, and helps cause some of that negativity. And you just have to overcome it and start healing. But first, I just want you to make this relationship with God yours. It's a knowing, and then you'll have the same faith I have, because And I was having trouble at one time healing people because I could sense something. I always sense the coldness of wherever they need healed, and they know I sense the heat coming off my hands. And, but I kept missing things that I couldn't heal, or I didn't know how, or there was something else and I just didn't know. And I had to start healing in a different way. Now I have to heal in the way Jesus always healed. He healed by seeing him whole. He didn't even recognize or even concern himself with what the disease is or what anything was wrong in them. He just saw them as whole. So that's what I do now. And find your way. But it's you have to start working with the universe and actually talking to it and asking for things. It doesn't have to be a lot. And get used to it and get used to your intuition, because that's God and the universe talking to you. That's what's supposed to guide you through this life instead of our minds. That our brain is supposed to be like a computer, and we tap into it, not it run everything. So, except for the basics, which is uh, the functions of our body. But as far as our life, it's supposed to be from the intuition. And that's magical too, because all of a sudden you feel like, ooh, I'm getting this mystical, magical feeling, and I need to go this way. And so you do, and something mystical and magical usually happens. So enjoy your life, enjoy your relationship with the universe, the angels, the aliens, because it's all real. And you just pick what you want to believe, and it's okay, because all roads lead to God. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter if you aren't a religion. All paths lead back to God, because there is nothing else but God. So once you wrap your head around that, it gets to be a little more fun. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Lori out.